Alright, so welcome back to a scenario of what if civilizations started over. And in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the continuation of World War One. As World War One started, when tensions began to rise between Russia and the Purple Team over Yellow. So, yeah, then all of this happened. Then the Red Team went crazy and they got kicked out of their alliance. Then the Trapezoid Alliance formed on a military alliance, and they attacked the Circles, or they're going to attack the Circles. And yeah, let's jump straight into the scenario of what if civilization started over. As we're going to be seeing Russia finally make a pushback on this eastern front. With Russian forces flooding in, the Mongolians in this nation are not able to hold them back, and the Mongolian occupied areas rapidly begin to get reliberated. As Russia only has two fronts to really worry about, as they're just here, and their entire alliance is south of them, so they don't really have to worry about that. But the Red Team, they have gone kind of rogue in the last episode, and they're just attacking all of these nations at the speed of light, which is not so good. As with their massive attacks, we begin to see these areas beginning to rapidly slow down. But we're gonna see them ramp up again. But still, the Red Team is attacking nations for no reason. This Blue Team rapidly falls, and their occupied zones stay under their occupation, but their country is gone. There's no returning it. And remember when the Square Team was in the war? Yeah, I do too. But yeah, the Triangle Team seems to be winning, but there's just so much going on. But yeah, we see the Gold Team making a massive pushback, and this is going to be the last episode of World War One. There was part of one when when the war started. Then we saw a full one. This is the last one. So yeah. But the Gold Team is very decent in power. I want to say very strong, but they are. But the Red Team, I would say, is super strong, as they are the strongest nation in the world. And then they decide to attack this country, and then they stop attacking. They completely just stop. But around 3 weeks later, Red Team forces are seen on the border of the Lime Team. And they are seen preparing their navy. As we see Operation Red Star happening. As the capital of the Lime Team quickly falls as Red Team forces flood in. We see the Lime Team getting destroyed, but the Orange Team is able to regain the city. But then we see a massive rebellion over here, as these rebels have never really liked being part of the Lime Team, and now that someone way stronger is invading, they say it's the perfect time to join, to declare independence. As that's exactly what they do, as the Lime Team, as we knew it, completely is a remembrance of history. Only history will remember it. What the fuck? Only history will remember it. As the Orange Team sees its first fracture. Madagascar, troops in Madagascar are seen raiding areas, they're, they're overthrowing cities, and people in Madagascar are sick of being under the Orange Team. Madagascar revolts, and the massive Madagascar Revolt of 741 AD. Yeah, that's how early in the timeline it is. It's 741. Yeah. So America was discovered centuries before it was in real life. So remember. And then the same year, Australia also revolts. As the world watches in shock, as the strongest nation in history, the biggest nation in history, completely fractures to the red team. The revolts across the world are seen everywhere. As we see Korean forces flooding in and trying to gain this land. Or trying to gain the strait, because that's where most of the world trade is. But we see Sweden sailing across the world, going all the way around Africa, as they got the news surprisingly quick. As we see them making an attack right here. And the Orange Team, as we know it, the strongest, the biggest nation in history, collapses to the Red Team, and it's just terrible. Their legacy will never be forgotten. The war with the green Indian team will always be remembered. Their biggest extent was short, but it was legendary. The world remembers this day as the fall of an empire, the fall of history, the fall of legacy. And around the same day that Korea attacks the Orange Team, Chinese forces flood into this new nation, as we even see Myanmar making an attack on it. This nation surrenders almost immediately. We're just gonna keep their color there. But yeah, the world is shocked. They never expected anything like this to occur. But we see, when this nation returns from a voyage back from the Americas, they go in, annex this massive chunk of land, and a weird little swiggly thing right here. As they gained like 3 massive ports from this, but their economy skyrockets because of it. As we see this nation also getting their independence, but it's split into 3 parts. The Indonesian part, that is the true successor of India, or what is now, and this area that is the second strongest of the bunch, with this one being the weakest, but having the most land area and the best economy. Anyways, going back over here, we see the yellow team making an attack on the orange team, as the orange team capital falls, and Russia is like, oh great. As we see the world, as we see Russia being like, oh shit, as they their military is the strongest or one of the strongest, but that doesn't mean they don't know how to fight. They haven't really fought any wars in their history, but they know. But the one thing that they do have is numbers. They don't have the skill. They have the numbers. The purple team kind of has the skills and the numbers. Sweden has the skills. Not so much the numbers, but they'll get numbers. As we see this city falling, we see a revolt happening right here. And that is the final straw for this area. And the closest enemy threat to Russia's capital is happening. Russia is terrified. But we see a massive areas breaking away from Russia. Apparently, these areas have not been happy for decades. And it's time that they begin to break away. As we even see this area breaking away, that for some reason has so much population. We see Mongolia making a massive pushback. And we see two nations leaving the war before troops can get to them. We see this nation and this country leaving. As the countries on the borders know, if they leave, they will have a worse treaty. So they decide to fight and hope for the best. But Russia makes a massive attack, and this goes down in history as the Russian people's G word. Yeah, not good, as Russia is doing G word to their people. And Sweden gets a hold of this information and tells everybody. The world is shocked. And with that, the gold team and the rest of Russia's alliance, feeling betrayed by what the Russians have done, their militaries begin to stop fighting. They rapidly put down arms and hope for an easy treaty on them. As Russia's alliance, that has been here for decades, centuries even, has collapsed in a single day. April 21st, 750. The war has been going on for 20 years. My cat is tweaking. You needed to know that. But yeah, the world feels peace for the first time in centuries. In a decade. And the Triangle Alliance and the Trapezoids, the Red Team, and the Fallen Stars meet in Galicia for the Treaty of the Shooting Stars. That's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed, you should probably like and subscribe. Sorry that it was so fast-paced. I don't know, I should have slowed it down, I actually enjoyed myself with it. But it's okay. And I hope y'all enjoyed. Anyways, like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.